Hello, I'm Ellen Codiff, Editor-in-Chief of Food Channel Pro. We're continuing our video series, Leaders with Guts, with Craig Culver. Craig, you recently ran the Ultimate Better Butter Burger Build-Off Contest.
Perfect.
How did that go?
Yes, we did. I don't know how many responses we got on it, thousands of responses on it, but we recently picked the winner.
What was the winner?
The winner is a family from Rapid City, South Dakota, I believe.
Wow.
And we're gonna take our airplane, go out and pick them up, bring them back here for a long weekend. We're gonna play around in the kitchen downstairs. Jim Doak, our R&D, our head chef, and myself. We're gonna play with a burger. Maybe put it in the restaurant here in town. Maybe in Rapid City as well, in our restaurant there, and just have fun with their family. And then they're gonna stay a weekend in Wisconsin Dells in the President's Suite or something like that. They're just gonna have a fun time.
And how involved are you in the chain's marketing decisions?
I'm very involved. Maybe more so than they would like.
And do your franchisees play a role in that too?
Yes, they do, especially with our Franchise Advisory Council, which we call the FAC. They meet quarterly, and we run everything past them just about.
And your marketing has really evolved. I know that, I was told that your logo, because the first unit was formerly an A&W unit, you kept the same shape.
That's correct.
To save bucks.
Genius, wasn't it?
Yes. So now you are in that circular, and you've maintained that. How has your marketing evolved in the last 26 years?
Just this morning I was talking to our management group and telling them about opening the first restaurant. And there was no marketing plan. We didn't have any money for marketing, and no TV, nothing like that. And we just about didn't make it through the first year, as a matter of fact. But how it did evolve, how it started, it's still the best marketing in the world, is taking great care of the guests inside that restaurant. That's the best marketing in the world. And of course, over time, as we became a franchise company and they contributed money towards the advertising, things started to take off, and finally hired an ad company. Our first ad budget was $70,000. And the first ad guy, he just laughed at me when he asked me what our budget was. And today, I don't know, it's $17, $18 million or something like that.
Wow.
Still, that's pittance, though. I mean, in comparison to our competitors, we have such a small budget.
What do you want your fans to think of, or the public at large to think of, when they hear the word Culver's? What do you want that brand to stand for?
You know what I want them to think about? I guess most people would think of the great food and stuff. But I want them to think about our great people. When somebody comes up to me and says, wow, I had a great experience at one of your restaurants, one of your people just took great care of us, that's what that means so much to me. And that means, that our culture is working, it's broadening, it's reaching out further and further. And, I was just telling again the class this morning, if there's a silver bullet to business, it's having great people. That's the silver bullet. Products are important, don't get me wrong, but when somebody has a great experience with one of our products, I'll tell you what, they become that marketing piece for us, and they go out and tell others. That's the neatest thing in the world for me to hear about our people. And
you basically started in the industry when you were 10 or 11, and so marketing probably wasn't uppermost in your mind at that point. You grew up in the business. When do you think you learned your biggest lessons about marketing through these last so many years, 26 years in business?
Oh, man, that's a tough question. I'm not a marketing person, yet I am a marketing person. I believe in, I'll go back, I believe in taking great care of our guests, I do. But it starts with taking great care of our team members. That's where it starts. And I want to throw great marketing messages out there, but I'm not. It's so hard to judge what great marketing is. And the only way I know how to judge it is by sales. That's the only way I really know how to find out if our marketing is what's happening with sales. And if the sales aren't happening the way we want. And the last 2 years has been pretty tough on all of us in the industry. You wonder, gosh, what are we doing wrong? You know, and then you wonder, what are we doing right? And so we've got a team of people, and I'm certainly part of that. The whole executive team is part of making the calls on our marketing. We're right in the midst of that, as a matter of fact, right now.
Culver's backs a lot of sports teams, one of them being the Chicago Cubs. Did you ever think about trying to back a winning team?
Oh, well, that's another great question.
Yeah.
You know, the Cubs in Chicago,
Yeah.
they love their Cubbies. They do, and they love the Sox as well. And we've been involved with both those teams. But, you know, actually, with the sports teams, we pulled back. You know, in 2009, we did pull back a little bit. We're still very involved with the Cubs. We've been involved with the Twins over the years, with the Brewers over the years, and some of those teams. But again, you know, marketing question, I don't know if we really get our bang for the dollar out of those things. And so you really gotta look at it. Are we getting what we're paying for in those cases? I think in Chicago it does work, though. There is such a love affair with the Cubs, regardless of how they do.
Is there any marketing campaign that you've ever done that you did see right away an ROI, that you could measure it immediately?
Well, yeah, as recently as last October, we getting more into the value game, which we've really never advertised price point. And we found out last year with the economy the way it was, we had to get more into that game. We didn't get into the dollar menu, nor will we get into that. But we got into what we call 8 meals under $4, and we got an immediate return on that investment, and we're continuing to hang our hat on that campaign.
Good. And you grow Culver's concentrically, and is that primarily because of the marketing advantages?
That's primarily because I learned my lesson by not doing it. I've made lots of mistakes over the years. You know, the reason we leaped a whole bunch of states 13, 14 years ago was my sister was living down in Dallas, Texas, and she wanted to start a Culver's down there. Then I had another gentleman as well that wanted to do it in Austin, Texas. So I thought I had a fighting chance if I had those two down there. What I found out, however, the Texas is as big as the Midwest, and it didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. But we've stuck with that business, and they've stuck with us along the way as well.
We've been talking with Craig Culver of Culver's, home of the Butterburger and frozen custard. Check out the next part of the series as we explore what it takes to be a leader with guts. For Food Channel Pro, I'm Ellen Codiff.